Hi, this is Kim, back with another crazy and unexpected update for Way of the Panda Oracle. And the update is, I changed the deck name again. And you probably didn't know that I changed it a second time, or that I even changed it at all, because I updated about the first name change. And then I didn't post for a long time, and then now it's like something completely different. So this deck went through a lot of ups and downs. It went through its own transformation sequence and evolution, and the pandas kept surprising me right here. So I'm gonna start by giving you like a general update about the completion progress of the stack, what I'm working on right now, the upcoming Kickstarter, and also just how long that's taking. And I'm going to tell you the story of like triple reborn. Okay, I'm calling this like, this is the third sort of incarnation of Way of the Panda Oracle. I want to share with you the 3 checkpoints, and it's sort of each signified by a name change, and what each name change represented, and the concepts that went into those name changes, and then basically what it's evolved into. Yeah, okay, so the entire deck is complete. All 44 cards are complete. The artwork and illustrations are complete, and it's actually been complete for a long time. I was just waiting on the cover and the back cover, and also my artist and I, Celia and I, we both went through a lot of personal shenanigans in the past 2.5 years. So this deck was much slower, like when it comes to like journeying towards its completion. As far as like just the artwork, it took a long time, a lot longer than Way of the Panda Tarot. Considering Way of the Panda Tarot was like 78 cards and 78 pieces of illustration, and also there were just like a lot of other miscellaneous illustrations that went into the deck, versus the Oracle deck, which is only like 44 cards. So it took us a while to get there, but we're here. You know, we each went through some difficult stuff personally, ups and downs, yada yada yada. Not important. Not important to this update, but obviously important to us individually. So basically, when it comes to illustrations and design, it's done. Like, it's ready to go. Actually, it's not completely ready to go. I still need to kind of play with the title placement, some of the smaller details of the card, how each artwork is going to go onto the card, and how it's going to be spaced. And I'm debating if I should put some other extra information, taglines and keywords and whatever onto the card. So there's still that aspect of it that needs to be completed, but if it's just the illustrations and the artwork, everything's done. Like, Celia has done her part. The rest is up to me now. And now what's left, as always, is the guidebook. So when I first started working on this deck, when I started working on a concept, when I started brainstorming, I knew obviously it was going to be a deck about pandas. It was going to be the sequel to Way of the Panda Tarot. It's going to be set in the Panda Kingdom, so they're going to be from the same universe. And I knew these pandas are going to be larger than life. I knew it was going to be a character-based deck, and that was sort of the theme in Way of the Panda Tarot, even though it followed the structure and system of tarot. It was very like story and character driven. Every single card pretty much had a little story and a little panda character attached to it that sort of embodied the spirit of that tarot archetype and just the traditional meanings of tarot. So I knew the Way of the Panda Oracle was also going to be very character and story driven. And I knew each card was going to be like a unique panda character. It's like if it's a novel, it's like world building that is involved with creating fantastical fiction, like that will be the process for this deck. So I knew it was going to be about a bunch of pandas that are larger than life, and then they were going to be eager to lend out a paw. They're kind of like guardian spirits. They're sort of like characters that we could summon to kind of just invite into our divination practice, and also just our tarot practice and oracle deck practice and etc. And as I sort of worked with this idea and this sort of idea evolved, I knew it was, I just started to feel into the energy of the deck, and I also knew that it was going to be about dreams, and it was going to be about like taking action, manifesting. It was going to be about motivation. It was going to be like, it was just going to be something that has a lot of positive momentum to it. So the first sort of incarnation of the deck, the first identity, the first kind of first entity, I would even say, because I believe my creative projects are alive. Not like alive, but it has a spirit, has its own sort of energy and needs and desires, or at least that's how I treat it in my mind. Don't call me crazy. A lot of creators do this. First sort of incarnation of this deck was called League of Pandas, and I had the idea of having this League of superhero pandas, this league of extraordinary pandas who are just ready to go, and you can summon them and they would enter your spread They would sort of figuratively and symbolically enter your life to give you support, give you help, and give you the energy that they embody, because each card is like a different panda with a different skill set, a different power, a different message. So I thought that would be a fun idea. I love Marvel, I love superheroes. You don't have to love Marvel or DC, but you get the idea of superheroes. They're larger than life. Each of them has a distinct personality and ability that defines them, and I sort of wanted that for the deck. I wanted to incorporate a lot of the themes from superhero storytelling and culture, and just really add that to the deck, and also my love for like epic fantasy narratives, RPG. There's like a lot of pop culture references, a lot of anime geek references. There's a panda who's literally just Sailor Moon. There's a Tuxedo Noir card, and there's like a diva card. So this deck has a lot of like cozy culture in it. There's a lot of, I think, things you don't really see. And that was the first sort of idea, like the first real sort of, okay, this deck is going to be about like this League of Pandas, and it has so many cool concepts with it. I was gonna have this section in a guidebook where you get to pair them up or put the different pandas or the different cards in dream teams, and you can assign them missions, and missions being your goals, like the goals that you want to achieve, and then you can summon these pandas in arranged teams, and you can sort of play with the idea of, like, you know, basically Avengers Assemble, but pandas. And it was gonna be literally just a deck of superhero pandas, and you get to like assign them or just sort of create your own teams. Let's say you have like a boss fight situation, let's say you have some intense shadow work, and you get to pick the pandas that you want to put on this team to help you tackle this challenge. So that, I really just love the metaphor. It puts you in the seat of your power, it puts you as the captain, the leader, the one who's calling the shots, and then there's that sense of empowerment, but it's like through imagination and play, and it really activates your inner child, and it's just such a wonderful idea. So it was League of Pandas for a long time, and I did make a video about this, I believe, like maybe last year. And then I was like, it's still missing something. I really just wanted to share more of what I've experienced and everything that I've learned, all the wisdom I've cultivated about dreams. It's a word that I've chosen to kind of represent the concept that I'm trying to convey. You can call it ambition, you can call it vision, your goal, your purpose, or whatever. But I just want to add more about dreams, because taking inspired action and creating forward momentum is part of creating that dream for yourself and stepping into that dream, because a dream is so much more. A dream is basically, how I define a dream is, it's the things that are true for you and about you being sort of externalized into the 3D world. And pursuing a dream or manifesting a dream or creating a dream is like that. It's sort of like, it's the part of you that's true, but it's not real yet in the 3D world. You know, it's that part of you, it's the thing that you always want to do, it's the thing that's always in the back of your head, like either fitness goals or a project or a place you want to live in or something. It's the thing that's always in the back of your head, and you know it's a part of you because you keep thinking about it, but you just haven't taken any action, or for some reason you have some limiting beliefs that are stopping you from doing it, and it's not real in your life yet. That's what I'm talking about. It's that journey that you take with each step that you make to make that thing, that aspect of you, that idea, that passion, that desire that's true for you, that lives inside of you. You make that thing real. You make what's true for you inside real on the outside. That's a dream. That's dreaming and becoming. And dreaming is having that vision and that version of yourself that you want to become, that you want to step into. And I just want more of that. So I created Dream Academy, which is the second iteration of this deck, the second incarnation of the guidebook as well, because like I said, the guidebook really represents the world that you're stepping into when you pick up this deck. And I was really stoked about the idea. It sort of evolved into basically Harry Potter times Way of the Panda, like times Way of the Panda. It's Harry Potter but pandas. And I thought of this spectacular idea of creating this fantastical magical school, this magical academy that teaches you and just gives you all the ideas and tools that you need to help you become your dream self, to dream and then become. It's basically gonna walk you through this immersive experience of experiencing a magical academy. And I have so much fun creating this world and creating an outline and this whole timeline for this world, and just structuring the deck, basically integrating into this world of this magical academy, and the headmistress is Fairy God Panda. and I was so excited. It was perfect. It felt perfect. Crafted all these events and all the characters you're gonna meet. I created all the interactive exercises. Like, you're gonna go into the school year, there's gonna be a welcome ceremony, but it's really just this big visualization ritual where you like hold your intention for what you want to become, and then you plant a seed in the imaginarium, which is like the seed for all your dreams. And it's this huge extended metaphor for nourishing your dreams and nurturing your dreams. And throughout the school year, it's like divided by seasons and semesters, and there's curriculums. I even wrote the whole curriculum for like Wonder Cup and all the spells that you will learn, and it's just this fantastical magical school experience, but pandas. And it's like you getting to know you and going through this metaphorical and figurative journey to learn about who you are, and to sort of like do a lot of inner work and shadow work and inner child work, but everything is like told through a story. Everything is sort of interactive and immersive, and it really gets your imagination and sense of play and fired up, and it's just so fun and so magical. And I even envisioned that this could be like a video game down the road. So I tried to create this idea, started to try to write this guidebook really. And the outline was perfect. Like, it was perfect in construction. The architecture, the blueprints were perfect. But when I started writing it, or went back to writing it because I have some initial chapters, I try to incorporate all the ideas that I have for this magical academy. Like, I try to weave the story through the card entries. I wanted to have all the practical bits, and I also wanted to guide you through the story. Like, you get picked to be with one of your mentors. It's kind of like being picked into a house, like the beginning of Harry Potter, and you work with your mentor throughout the year, this figurative school year. And it was going to be like, everything is like planned, like architecture to perfection. Honestly, I could be a game developer or a designer or something. Actually, I've never tried, but I just think it'll be fun for me as well. Maybe that's something I want to try down the road. But yeah, I could not write the freaking book. There's just missing something. Like, I knew when I find the right lane, when I find the right idea, like, it'll just take off. Like, once I found the angle and the voice and sort of just how the book was going to come together for Way of the Panda Tarot, the book of pandas, I wrote nonstop. Never experienced any block, any stuckage. Before that, I wrote like 90 something pages, and it was just so freaking hard. Because that's not what the book needed. That wasn't what the book wanted to be. Once I decided and finally found what the book was going to be, it just took off. I never stopped writing. And I think the same thing was happening with this book for Way Up the Panda Oracle guidebook, because like it just would not take off. I was having so much trouble. It was like, I think there was like 3 books being squeezed into this one book, and there were just so many ideas. It was overwhelming. I think it was like I was trying to put too many things in it. Long story short. Like, I was writing some stuff and bits and pieces about dreams, and I was like, this could be like a different book about dreams, but with no pandas in it. And I was like writing, I'm just like, this could be just a story about the pandas in Dream Academy. And I was like, and this is like a different thing. It was just really hard for me to put everything together. I think it was just too many things at once, because like I said, it was going to be a storybook. It was going to be like, there was going to be cinematic sequences where you're like immersed in the experience. There was going to be like this choose your own adventure vibe stuff in it. And there was going to be card entries. There is going to be like creative, imaginative stuff like, oh, if your mentor is Wonder Cup, what will be like the spells you need to learn? There's like a lot of like extra like lore when it comes to this world, and just all the details of the deck. And on top of that, I wanted to incorporate tools for dreaming. I wanted to have like tarot spreads or oracle layouts, deck spreads, spread layouts, and reflection questions. Make it super practical. Just make it this super beefy, wonderful, fantastical, pandatastic book. And maybe I just wanted to impress y'all. You know, I just wanted to be impressive because I just have so much to give. And I know that's kind of gross to say, but I really do. I just want to share everything that I've ever learned and experienced. Just share it somehow. But it was impossible to do all that in one book. And I ended up I didn't kill the idea, but I ended up sort of separating the idea of Dream Academy away from Way of the Panda Tarot, because I was like, I'm not giving up on this idea because it's too good. I knew it like when I was bringing this idea to life, or just concepting it and constructing it and just sort of architecturing it. I had so many feels, so many vibes, and I knew it was going to be something special, but I think it wasn't going to be part of the deck. It was going to be its own thing, or just in addition to the deck. As in, like, this Dream Academy experience and all the storytelling and the immersive experience. It's basically like this big interactive story-driven Oracle exercise where you get to interact with all the characters and all the cards from the Oracle and just really get immersed in the story. And this also happens to be this figurative story that mirrors the journey of your becoming. And I didn't want to give up on that. Like, there's no freaking way. It's too good. I love it too much to give up on it. But I did decide to kind of separate it from the guidebook portion of this world, because at the end of the day, it needed to be a guidebook. Like, it needed to be a guidebook to tell people what the deck is. And Dream Academy is sort of like a world built off of this guidebook and the characters from it. And I think that's different. Like, it needs to be its own thing. So I'm either gonna make that into like a single section at the end of the guidebook, or even just a separate book, like an add-on book. And yeah, that's how Dream Academy died. Okay, dying is a strong word, but that's how I scratched the idea for Dream Academy. And now the third iteration of this deck, the third incarnation of this deck, is so far temporarily, I don't know if I'm going to end up changing it again, it's Dreaming Pandas Oracle. So Way of the Panda, Dreaming Pandas Oracle. And I think this is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to this deck. I think it was good that it went through so many renditions, it went through so many ups and downs and transformations. I got it down to the essence of like what I really want to convey to the world, which is the initial idea of taking action, combined with the magic of, figuring out your intentions, mapping out your vision, and really just doing the healing work that's needed to become the best version of yourself to create your dream life. Everything became more unified, because League of Pandas was just straight up action. You get to summon pandas to kind of do your bidding and help you with your life, but I was like, it's missing something. It was missing that intention portion. And now, having gone through Dream Academy, Dreaming Pandas now have a lot of intention. It's like, it really helps you identify what your dream is. It's just less overwhelming. It's not like narrative, story, practical stuff, journaling, everything all at once. And I think even just like from a logistical and practical point of view, like it would have been impossible for readers to navigate all that information, because there was just imagine 3 buildings trying to build on top of each other, and you go in, you're like, I don't know which building this is. Am I in this room, or am I in like the castle grounds, or am I here? Like, I don't know. I feel like that was what Dream Academy ended up being. There's just too many layers and too many ideas and too much conception. Just too much conceptual layers layered upon each other, and it was too layered. Dreaming Pandas solved all those problems. The third reincarnation, it really is like the perfect sort of the bliss point, the Goldilocks, like the, what was it, Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and then like the daughter bear or something. Like, it was that perfect bed. It was the perfect container, the perfect structure, the perfect architecture to house the ideas that I want to convey. Now it has the clarity, and that clear intention has a clear movement, a clear direction, and it has like a really clear theme and thread that pulls everything together in a really concise way, but also leaves a little room for exploration. Leaves room for imagination. It's a burden when people can't navigate it. So I think that's one of the lessons I learned as a creative. Like, sometimes, like, there's just so many things I want to convey and so many things I want to create, but you just really have to pick. You just really have to find the right proportions. You need to find the right recipe to make that cake. Otherwise, it's going to be a Frankenstein cake. Unless you're writing Frankenstein, or unless you're Mary Shelley, I guess. Yeah, it's all the themes from League of Pandas: taking action, missions, dream teams. It's not just action. It's not just like a bunch of pandas with special abilities, but now these pandas are sort of bonded together by a bigger purpose. And obviously the first edition of this, they also had a purpose, which was to help people, but now it's sort of like the theme is much more fleshed out. Like I said, it's all about dreams, and this deck would define what a dream is and how to achieve it, how to get there, because dreams are basically us daring to be our truest selves and making that a reality. And every panda has something different to share. They have like a vision for dreaming, how to approach dreams, and each panda has a way of doing things that's beneficial to whatever situation you're in. And then you can really consider these things and connect with your own dreams, connect with that authentic version of you, that truth, your internal truth, and and just like this deck will motivate you and just inspire you to become your dream self. And each panda is kind of like a character, someone, a panda to help you, but it's also like a specific place or a specific way of being to approach that dream. And there's just so many things that you need to consider when it comes to manifesting a dream. There's like the laws of attraction stuff, like, you know, the envisioning, the planning, the vibes. And then there's like the hustle portion, which is about action and goals and discipline. And there's also imagination and playfulness and fun. There's also the part where you try to find yourself, which is figuring out what's true for you and what's authentic for you, right? And there's also relationships, like self-love, and mostly self-love, like connection with yourself, how to take care of yourself, how to rest, how to enjoy life, like all these things, all the things that I decided that's true for me will be in this deck. And they're just a lot of wonderful ideas in there that I learned on the way, on my way of dreaming and becoming, and it's all sort of tied together even more wonderfully by the fact that it's pandas, because it's just such a wonderful animal archetype, and just also like as a symbol to tie everything together, because pandas are not predatory animals, so it doesn't have that. Let me just say that this deck is very anti-hustle culture. It's very anti-capitalism and very anti-toxic productivity and very anti-stress, and that's why pandas is like a good spokesbearer for these ideas. It's not about burning yourself out to achieve a goal at the expense of literally everything else, like especially your health. It's about finding peace within. It's about figuring out who you are and what your strengths are and what you want in life, and defining success. And it's not even the word success. It's like defining what you want to create in your life. And it's like not even about success anymore. It's about authenticity and being true to your creativity and stuff. So I think pandas is just like the perfect animal for that. Pandas are playful, they're carefree, they're connected with philosophies of Zen Buddhism and Taoism. So there's that sort of, you know, like philosophy of acceptance and being in the present moment embedded in this animal, in the cultural consciousness that surrounds this animal. And obviously pandas are playful, so it taps into the imaginative side. Pandas are pandas because they're pandas. People love them because they're pandas, not because they're anything else, because they're themselves. This deck about dreaming and becoming is like really for people like us, like you and me. I'm sure if you're watching my channel, if you resonate with my story and the things I've gone through, like you're probably resonating with the parts of me that are like, you know, online, and you're probably, you know, maybe have similar attributes and aspirations and whatnot. And it's like this deck is about dreaming and becoming, and has all the aspects of like action, inspiration, manifesting goals, discipline, like some the practical stuff, and also the healing and the inner work, and then just the creation, imagination, and the future, all of that. But it's like for people who are like pandas, the people who want to, who value peace and status, who value like slow, but maybe not slow, just like your pace, your own panda pace, right? More faster doesn't mean better. Sometimes it's deeper and slower. So the idea is like whatever you want, whatever that's true for you. So it's definitely like a very ambitious deck when it comes to dreaming, but it's not like compulsory. It's not about conventional success at all. It's about finding who you truly are and making the best out of life, and just continuing to dream and become in your own way, at your own pace, through the lens of your magic and expressing your gifts and tapping into your own creativity. And just like, you know, it's about like creative and inspired living and authentic living, and in the most pandatastic ways possible. Those are my hopes for this deck. That's what's going into this deck and why I'm creating this deck. And also my shirt says emotionally exhausted, and it's this Care Bear looking like Those are the three incarnations of the Pandas Oracle. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for listening, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this deck, or what you think about the whole triple reborn thing. Go save the pre-launch page to get notifications, and also admire the thumbnail cover photo that I made for it, because it's pretty. Yeah, and until next time, be your pandatastic self and walk the way of the panda.